First, we will quickly go through what are the pathogens that we find in the pool.
Yep.
Chapter number 2, we will talk how to prevent the growth of pathogens.
Very important, right? How do you prevent it? And then chapter number 3 is how do you deal with it when you have it?
When you're in deep shit, what do you do? And then we see 2 case studies.
Then we have some case studies. And as always, we will take your questions at the end through, please use the chat function that you have available in Zoom. And brand new.
We have now all our sessions, including number 8. Yes. Including number 8, we have now on our YouTube channel. And end of the show, let's have a quick look how you can use this and how that will help you.
Exactly.
Okay? And Florent will take over. So be prepared with the microphone. Good. Next one.
Great. Yes.
Oh, no, it's Philip. You're the driver.
As always, review of the previous session in 3 simple steps. Step number 1 was the use of AFM, NG, and DAISY to reduce the formation of chloroform and THMs, to reduce your inorganic chloramines. But what you cannot is you cannot reduce your organic chloramines. Therefore, step number 2.
Yeah, you have 3 options that we know already. Use a small layer, 10 centimeters layer of activated carbon on top of AFM. That will solve the problem. You will be definitely below 0.2. You can use UV medium pressure. We are against this. Yep. This is why it's in red. Reason is because THMs are going up and we hate THMs.
Yep.
Or you go for an high ozonization system, which is perfect, but quite costly. Step number 3, we have shown you brand new Advanox, advanced oxidation in combination with a DAISY, only treat the water every 2 to 3 days. For us, we are not sure yet, but what we have seen, that will be the top solution and the most economy solution. Yeah, that's the review of session number 8. If you haven't seen it, go in and have a look.
So what are the most common pathogens in swimming pool water?
You see them here.
Yes.
This is how you, it's not, sorry for the format, but this is how you find it, you know, in the DIN norms or in the Swiss or in the in any of the norms. You're looking about the aerobic mesophilic germs. We call it germs for the future. You talking about E. coli, Sodomonas aeruginosa, and Legionellas. We go through them in detail. The interesting part is, you know, if you go, for instance, in Italy, by the way, Filomena are also on the call. I haven't seen you, but I hope you're in. And of course, my friends from Italy anywhere. Now I lost the, okay, I'm back here. Back to Italy. So in Italy and in Spain, you know, they're concerned about Pseudomonas. That's their main focus. Where in Germany, it's all about Legionellas, and also in Switzerland in a way. And then really in the UK, in the US, and I think also quite a lot in Asia.
Yeah, it's more about Cryptosporidia. Huh?
I don't know what's in Africa. Probably none of them. Okay.
Or all.
Or all, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, step by.
So, yes.
Yeah.
So let's start. So total number of germs. This is also called the total plate count. Huh? It counts all the what's called aerobic mesophilic germs.
Oh, what is mesophilic? Aerobic, we know that process that needs oxygen. What is mesophilic? Well, I know you with your old Greek education. Yeah.
Okay.
Impressive.
So, well, meso means medium, middle.
Yeah.
And philophilic means loving.
Love.
Huh? So these are germs that really love this medium temperature, you know, 30 to 40 degree temperature area.
Yeah. But it's really, I mean, it's not a specific, it just gives you, if you have germs, you know, you have microbiological contamination. It's just this indicator. It's not a specific distinction. You do not know which of these bugs you have. You know, you have bugs.
Yeah.
But it's quite easy to do it. You just take the water, you put it, can I have it quickly? You put it on this Petri dish.
Yeah.
You know, Petri dish, you give this water, you breathe it for 72 hours at 30 degrees, and then you get here these different points. What are these points, Philip?
These are colonies, bacterial colonies.
Yeah, so, you know, it's not an individual one. You would not see it. It's colonies, you know, it's a colony. And this is what you you're counting. And this is why we call this I can't spell it.
Colony forming
units. So you
CFU.
colony forming units. You count the points. You count the CFU. Colony forming. Yeah, you can say it. But I mean, that's the important one. Houston, we have a problem. If you have germs, you know you have a problem.
Exactly.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay. Now let's look at some germs.
Yeah.
First one is E. coli that we want to talk about. E. coli is a bacteria, and it's of fecal origin, which tells you everything how it gets into the pool. I'm not going to go into more details.
Why not? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
But they are about 2 micron in size, you know, and if you have E. coli, you know, you have,
Yes.
It can give some pain, some diarrhea.
So this is why someone who has diarrhea should never use a pool.
Yeah. We will see how to treat if you have this problem. So that you can have, and it's a problem if you take it oral, right?
Yeah.
Sodomonas, that's my favorite. Sodomonas, they're also a bacterium, quite small in size, 0.5 to 3 micron in size. If they are individual planktonic, we call this planktonic, you know, if they're single, if they are not in a biofilm, you know, they're very easy to kill. You know, with 0.1 free chlorine, you kill them within 30 to 60 seconds. But this is exactly the point. They love to build biofilms. They love to build biofilms. They are the pioneers, you know, they are the first one who are colonizing all the wet areas, especially if there is enough food, if there is a good temperature, and then they multiply very quickly. But really the key one is what we wrote here, the ability of this bacterium to interact with other microorganisms and to produce biofilms. That makes it really difficult to control their growth. So they produce the biofilm, they are the pioneers, but they also live in an interaction, you know, with a species of different microorganisms, and this is why it's and they are a key one.
Yeah, and besides building biofilm, they're also responsible for ear infections and skin infections.
You know, Pseudomonas you also have in the medicine, you know, this multi-drug resistant bugs. They are usually one of these Pseudomonas. Here we're talking about Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Legionella, well, also bacteria. They are how you call them? Yeah, bar-shaped. 6 microns, roughly. You know, there are about 57 different species of Legionellas, and most of them, you know, are completely harmless. I mean, really not a problem. It's just, you know, few species, 5 to 6 species where you can get a Pontiac flu, which is a very bad flu, or even you can get this Legionnaire's disease.
Legionnaire's disease.
You know, which is, I mean, if you have a weak immune system, that's again the same with COVID. You know, it's really dangerous. You can be killed. If not, you maybe have a little bit of headache and pain and a little bit like COVID. I think that the main thing that we have to see here, it's not a problem if you drink Legionellas. You can drink thousands, millions of Legionellas. That will not be a problem. It's just the problem if you take them orally. If you
aerosol. If you inhale them.
Inhale them.
If they go in through your lungs.
Yeah, my English is not the best this
okay.
morning.
No, it's okay.
Okay, and that means, you know, cooling towers is a big risk. Showers is not good. Ventilation is not good. And in our area where we are talking, it's definitely the spas and everything which is warm and where you have aerosol building processes, right?
Yeah.
What do you want to tell about here?
That's true. Okay, so we spoke about the temperature range. Legionella usually get into the pool through the tap water. And they can multiply if there is insufficient disinfection.
But that's what you see here. You know, that was a survey in Germany, and more than 10% was contaminated with Legionellas above the value. You know, the max value is 100. So yeah, you see a part was this. Here you already have a higher contamination, and here with 1% you had a very high contamination. And here you see how they develop, starting from 25, and they are really good, comfortable up to 45, and then it goes down.
Yeah.
You kill them if you go above 60.
Yeah.
But yeah, in our spool, in our spas, it's perfect for them.
So if you have Legionella, it's most likely because your filter is biofouled.
Yes,
huh?
yeah, and this is what you read here, and this is even not coming from us. I mean, we steal all the information, to be honest. That's from our Swiss norm. If Legionella is detected directly in the pool water, again, it's not coming from us, it is most likely because the filter has biofouled and the water is contaminated as a result. The problems comes from your filter, and we will see it. Well,
okay,
that's your favorite.
Next, well, not really, right? But so the next one is amoeba. Amoebas are not a bacteria; they're actually a single-cell organism. And because
you see how smart he is,
they don't have you see this in the video. You know, they don't have cell walls, so they can really.
This is the amoeba here. This one, you see how it changed.
Yeah, it can really alter its shape.
Yeah,
and while it does it can grow like arms and feet to encapsulate its prey, so the food that it wants. So in this case, the amoeba thinks this Legionella is something it wants to eat, so it encapsulates it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how they.
How big are they?
They're relatively big in size, so 100 to even 1,000 microns, so 0.1 to 1 millimeter in size. You could actually see them. Yep.
So 1 micron is a thousandth of a millimeter. Yeah, they are also pathogenic. You know, you can get a very deep gas. How do you call it? Gastrointestinal disease. I mean, you have very deep urea, or how do you call it?
Diarrhea. Yeah, and there's different types, and they're brain-eating amoebas. There's really bad stuff.
You will usually not find them in pools, but you will find them, you know, these dangerous species, you will find them, you know, in not treated pools, like natural pools, you could have it, or in these surf pools, I know they had.
Surf pools is a problem.
They had it, you know, but it's just because it's not well treated. But why it's really important, what we have here, more importantly, many amoeba species harbor pathogenic bacteria such as Legionella. That means they try to eat them, but they cannot digest them, and then this pathogen can grow in the amoeba and multiply. Crypto.
So crypto is another pathogen. It's a parasite, also of, again, fecal origin, like E. coli. That's how it's brought into the pool. The problem with crypto is that it is highly resistant to chlorine.
Will survive 5 ppm of chlorine for 5,000 hours. We talked about this in session number 4.
But the good news is it's 3 to 6 microns in size. So with really good filtration and flocculation, you have a really good chance of getting them out.
Yeah, you will get them out. Yeah. So we talked about this also in session number 4.
Yep.
Okay, these were the overview of the pathogens. Now we talk how you can avoid it. And sorry, we brainwash you. We talked about this in session number 4, but it's so important that we do it again. It's a little bit propaganda, you know, like Goebbels did. He told always the same thing. Also very similar to what we see today. So this is how bacteria grow. This is for example, a Sodomonas aeruginosa. You know, most of them are killed on the way in the water, but some of them will reach a surface which is in contact with the water. If it can attach to this surface immediately, it will secrete a slime to protect themselves against chlorine oxidation. We have seen this, and then they grow, they multiply every 30 minutes if you have enough food, 30 degrees. And also, this goes very quickly. The movie is not running, doesn't matter.
It's okay.
And we have seen the biggest surface that we have in the pool, responsible for in public pools more than 90% is the sand.
It's the media.
And this is this biofilm which is developed.
So one of the problems with the biofilm in the sand filter is that it leads to channeling. And
clumping
and channeling. And the channeling, it means that you have unfiltered water getting into your pool. And when we say unfiltered water, it also includes pieces of biofilm that are now getting out of the filter into the pool.
Yeah, usually not. Here you think it's individual bacteria, but it's really colonies, as Philip said. This is why you get your turbidity increases. You know, individual ones you would not see, and of course because they are colonies, they are protected by the biofilm. They're relatively resistant against chlorination, and you can have in this you could have anything, Legionellas, whatever in. Sure. So this is not what we want. But also crypto. I mean, crypto, even if you have a flocculation, the moment where you have a channeled filter bed, it will go through, and then you have a crypto problem. So it's really important that you have a bioresistant filter media and you have no clumping and no channeling. Only then, this is the point, you have a reliable filtration.
Yep.
Well done.
Very important.
Yeah.
Yep.
So nice. Second part is, you know, how that goes together. We have seen these Pseudomonas. They are the ones who are building up the biofilm. What we have seen 2 slides before: attach, make the slime, and so on. But you know, if you have Pseudomonas, if you have a biofilm, it's most likely you also will get amoebas. They only can live in the biofilm, right? And if you have amoebas, it's a very good chance that you also have Legionellas. You know, if you get through your tap water, and we have seen it's more than 10% of the tap water who has Legionellas gets in, you know, they will go to the amoeba. The amoeba will encapsulate them, and then they will double, they will grow, you know, until the amoeba is dying, and then you have on one shot 1,000 or even more of Legionellas. And it's really, you know, if it's really with the biofilm, it's really with these here, with the Pseudomonas. And we also have seen this in session number 3 or session number 4 with temperature, you know, they start to grow quickly. What's the takeaway? If you don't have biofilm, you don't have Pseudomonas. If you don't have biofilm, you don't have amoebas. If you don't have amoebas, you don't have Legionellas. Again, we do it black and white. It's not like this. It's more kind of gray. But I think in the message, it's clear. No biofilms means no bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens.
Yep.
So avoid the biofilm.
All right. So what can you do to prevent the growth of pathogens? Number 1, use a filter media that is resistant to biofouling. Ideally, AFM-NG.
Yeah, if I can give you a recommendation, we know that's really bioresistant, that works well.
Yeah. Remember how it works on the surface of the AFM grain. Again, we're brainwashing you a little bit, but it doesn't
not a little bit, really intensive. Yeah.
So metal oxides on the surface of the grain react with oxygen in the water to form free radicals. These free radicals have a very high oxidation potential and will oxidize bacteria that are trying to attach on the surface.
Well done.
Good.
Did you understand it? This is brainwashing. And this is how new sand looks, how new AFM looks. This is how sand looks after 3 days. This is how AFM looks after 5 years. And here you see, this is the bug count. This is the germ count. The aerobic mesophil germs. 18 in AFM, 36. That's exactly what you see then on the Petri dish at 37 degrees at that thing. So you see, sorry. Next one, bioresistant filter media, but also something that filters really good, like AFM-NG, you know, which filters down. You see this approved by IATF down to 1 micron. You have seen most of these pathogens are bigger than 1 micron. Not all of them, but most of them. And this is, you filter them out. And again, brainwashing. Our NG, it's hydrophobic, and therefore it really has this capability. And with these 2 good things, I mean, we remove a lot more organics. If we remove a lot more organics, we have less of chloroform, which are really toxic, but it's also food source for bacteria. And a lot of these germs, we just filter out, you know, like crypto is gone with AFM-NG. If you operate it according to our instruction, it's gone. And a lot of others. If you want to do it even better, Philip?
Then you add coagulation and flocculation with APF.
You can do everything, but if you want to go for the best, go APF, use the CPM if you can, and you get to 0.1.
Yeah.
You know, this is the belt and how you call this?
Suspender.
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 Yeah, yeah. So like in Wall Street,
so
you remember the movie Wall Street? You know,
exactly.
This smart guys.
It's like wearing a seatbelt and a helmet.
Yeah.
I mean, you have double protection.
Yeah. Yeah. Really. Not so much needed to remove crypto if you have AFM-NG, but it's better. Yeah, you have two protection. And by the way, we love to sell APF, right? But crypto is gone. 6 millimeter, 4 millimeter in size. Crypto is gone. With a Daisy, with AFM-NG, but definitely with Daisy, it's gone.
Yeah.
So session number, we talked about this in the session number 5 and 6. Again, about session number 6, what is here? NoFos, the biological solution to prevent algae and bacteria.
Yeah. Okay, so you remember that algae and bacteria, they need phosphate to transport food to their cell membranes, basically. And if you reduce phosphate in the water, that means bacteria, algae cannot digest, and ultimately they will starve. That's the whole process. And this is why we have NoFos, and we have NoFos in our APF, because again, NoFos is very effective at bonding onto the phosphate molecules and pull them out of solution so you can filter them out.
It's the best one to remove phosphate. What also works is magnesium chloride. As we have seen, 2 times positive charge, not 3 times positive charge. But yeah, this is the key one, you know, and algae and bacteria are problems for all swimmers. As you can see here, this poor
also
seal,
for this guy,
it's not a great photo. I apologize for this. I did this many years ago in the aquarium of Alicante, not on Daisy, not on Daisy, unfortunately not. We proposed it, but they didn't have the budget yet. I hope that will change. But you see, you know, this pool has a lot of phosphates. You know, the algae are growing everywhere, even on the pellets, the fur of this poor seal. You know, and if you have this, you know, in this fur, you will have a big community of microorganisms. So this is not good. This is not nice for him. I think it's also
itchy.
My English is gone. It was not a heavy night yesterday.
No, we were very reasonable.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's why.
Okay. What is this, Philip?
Okay, so here we were talking about the ZPM before, but now what we see here is the installation of a ZPM after a sand filter. This is certainly not required after an AFM filter, but a sand filter.
If you want to do it, we will not stop you. You know, it's always good. It's again helmet and
suspenders.
And suspenders. Yes,
exactly.
And
Exactly.
You can do it. I mean, if you have a very sensitive pool, you know, with a high contamination risk, you still could do it.
Yes.
You still could do it. So the first CPM here, you use to improve coagulation, flocculation. But this one here, why do we use this?
So we use it for these cavitation reactions. When water flows through the CPM, it actually smashes the cell membranes of crypto, for example. It also breaks up biofilm, so bacteria get out and can be oxidized.
Yeah. So you see this here, you know, as long as this crypto, I don't know what is
the shell.
The shell is broken. You know, then it's not anymore so highly resistant against chlorine. But you have to break this shell, and this is what you can do here. Or this biofilm, you know, it will be highly resistant against chlorination. But if you break it out in planktonic, in individual Sodomonas, you can easily kill them. And here you see this cavitation reactions. What is cavitation? You pull the water apart. You form a nanobubble, and this nanobubble is not exploding, it's imploding, like in Star Wars, you know, when the Empire Strikes Back, you know, or the other one, whatever. You know, if these planets are imploding, you know, it gives a big boost. You know, if these nanobubbles implode, you get a pressure hammer of, I think it's 1,000 bars. I would mention something like this. And if that touches here, these cells, this bioflux, or here this
Crypto shell.
Crypto shell, then you blow in a hole. So something good. You will lose here. You have to drive this a little bit more aggressively with 200 millibars, 300, ideally 500 millibars of pressure loss, and that will need a little more of energy. Yes. This is not good, Philip, right? Well, actually, you don't lose it.
Yeah.
You know, this energy goes as heat into your water.
Yeah.
But yes, you need a higher pump to do that. So, yeah.
Good.
Another way.
So what to do if you have pathogens in the water, and you will always get some.
Yeah.
Huh?
How are we in timing? I think
we're okay.
Very good.
We're okay.
Yeah.
But remember, we have a live demo here
so
too.
So yeah, what do you do if you have pathogens? If you're in a problem? I nearly got the wrong word. This is how it looks like. That's in German, but you know, you get here results. Germs, none. You're allowed to have. This is what you're allowed to have. This is what they measured. So that none. Temperature 29. No E. coli. No Pseudomonas. But 10 Legionellas, and you're only allowed to have 1. So then you have to do something. Okay, this is according to the Swiss norms, and they are very similar for Austria and very similar for Germany. I'm not sure about the other countries, but it's a good procedure. You know, if you have on the Legionella side, if you have in your pool water or in your filtrate is after the filter before chlorination. If you find more than 1, but not more than 10 CFU
colony forming units.
I'm so happy I have you.
Don't say cauliflower, because that's Blumenkohl.
Oh, okay, good.
Good, huh?
Yeah.
So
if you have
colony forming units,
yes.
Yeah.
What do? You do backwash your filter with 20 ppm of chlorine. That's what they recommend to do. Honestly, I would recommend you to do, you can go with 20, you can go lower. I would also add chlorine dioxide, and we will see in a moment why. But it's really because the chances that it's coming from the filter is 90, maybe 95%. So your filter will be contaminated, you will have biofilm, so wash it out. Check your water treatment for any functional defects. So maybe look in the side glass, do you have bad expansion? If you don't, there must be a problem. Maybe your backwash valve is not working, or your hydraulics is shit, or whatever, and do another analysis after 4 weeks. So if you're here in the middle class between 10 to 1000, you have to turn off your aerosol generating devices. We talked about this. You can drink them, not a problem, but don't breathe them in. This is not good. What else do you do then?
So this is for spas, for like water fountains, everything that generates
the slides,
aerosols, the slides. Yeah, definitely. Okay, what you do then is what you do in the first step also. You have to backwash your filter and, highly chlorinate it. In a spa.
And you will see later on, you can make, instead of just chlorination, you can make it even much better.
Yeah. And for spas, you have to empty and clean them.
Yeah, that's not a big water volume, so that makes sense. Empty them, clean, and disinfect them. We will show you again how you do this. And make a new analysis of the pool water and also the filtrate, water that you have in the pool, filtrate what comes out of your filter after 10 days. You know, if you have none in your filtrate, but you have some in your pool, then you know, okay, filtrate is good, but I have a problem in the pool. Okay, if you're above this 1000, you have to close the pool. I mean, really have to close the pool because then it can be really dangerous. And you have to find the source of the contamination. And how you do this, this is what they wrote here. Again, this is not coming from Philip, not from me. It's coming from our Swiss norms, clean and disinfect piping. It's not an easy one.
No.
We'll have a look. Valves, channels, balance tank, check filtration and backwash. Eliminate the source of contamination, and then you can go back to normal, restart. So it's really find the source of contamination. So how do you do that?
Yeah. Okay. So where can pathogens grow? You know, on the upper left, you see overflow channels.
Yeah, this
You
here
can
is
you can
biofilm.
see this.
This is
You can see
biofilm.
the biofilm grow.
So how do you clean that?
Yeah. Okay. There's different options. You can you know, brush with a brush,
Yeah.
for example. That's probably a good one. You
High
can use
pressure.
like liquid chlorine, bleach, for
Bleach you
example.
can use. And the best will be chlorine
dioxide,
yeah.
which we talk about in a second. Yeah.
And then here you see this spa where Philip said, empty it and clean it. I mean, this, you know, you see the water is not clean. Yeah. It's not clear. Clear water is safe water. Yeah. Here you have bioflux. This is why you have this high turbidity. This is not good. You also see a little bit here, the biofilm, so that has to go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else?
And then very important, the balance tank. And this, what's important is that you really fill the balance tank all the way up to the very top.
Yeah.
Because you can see, you know, the biofilm on the walls. And if you don't fill it up before you treat it, it means you don't catch it all.
But also here you can clean, you can brush it, high pressure water, chlorinated, or what is the very best, chlorine dioxide, and then you see pipes. You know, pipes you cannot brush. I mean, it's difficult to brush the pipes. Will be small brushes, but again, here chlorine dioxide. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the key one. What we say here, the filter, actually it's not a filter, it's the filter media. It's really the filter media, which will be 90 or 95% of the problem. Yeah. So chlorine dioxide, we mentioned it.
Yes.
So why, what is it?
Okay, so what is it? What is chlorine dioxide?
ClO2.
Yeah.
ClO2. Yeah.
One chlorine, two oxygen atoms.
It's a radical, and it makes a really, it's a radical. It's slightly stronger. You know, so you see here chlorine dioxide. Here you see chlorine gas. It has a slightly higher electrovolt potential. It makes complete oxidation. So you also can decrease combined chlorine with adding chlorine dioxide. It's not a long-term solution, of course, but if you shortly have to decrease it, that will work. It will not form disinfection byproducts such as THMs. This is what you see here. So that's a good one. It can build up chlorates. This is why you don't use them on persimmons, but it's a soluble gas. Now, Nadine, make big, our fan club, our fan club wants to see us big, as we are doctors today.
And maybe
we should wear this in all our sessions.
Yes, Nadine, can you zoom on this bottle, please, here?
The bottle is important.
Okay, so we brought, this is normal tap water.
Let's check it.
Yeah, you can take a sip. This is our...
You do it after.
This is our Dryox tablet that we have. This is 2 grams.
Yeah.
This is a bigger one.
Maybe zoom a little bit less.
Yeah,
so
and now, you know...
Yeah, perfect, good, well done.
Okay, we enter it. Okay. And now we take hold.
So you see, you put this tablet, you know, this tablet is not chlorine dioxide, but if you put it in this water, it will form chlorine dioxide. And I told it's a soluble gas. You see this nasty yellow, it really looks toxic. And it gets in solution. I mean, here we do in half a liter, we do one tablet will generate 1 gram. So we make here a very, very high concentration. This is not what, I would not drink this now.
I can tell you the smell is.
It's not.
I prefer
wine.
It's not
flowers. It's not flowers, but you see, it's not that. I mean, you should not. You should.
I mean, it smells.
Think a little bit.
You can smell the chlorine basically.
Yes,
you smell chlorine, right?
Yes.
But it really dissolves quickly.
Yeah. So. This is now 1 minute, and give us another 2 or 3 minutes, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Florent, you want to take it? Don't drink it, maybe. Or you leave it.
We can leave it here.
Yeah, let's go back to the presentation.
Yeah, good.
By the way, in South America, you know, they did chlorine dioxide to treat COVID.
Okay.
That's not our recommendation, to be honest. Not in this concentration, but yeah.
No, definitely not.
But you have seen now what it is.
Yep.
And as we already said, smell is getting stronger.
But I think the key thing is that it is actually able to penetrate, because it's a soluble gas, penetrate through the biofilm, which chlorine is not. Chlorine actually has to oxidize the biofilm
from outside
in, which takes much stronger concentrations.
Yeah, and then you lose, and you lose also concentration.
Yeah.
And this is why we wrote here, it's 10 times more effective in removing biofilm.
Yeah.
We were here on the very conservative side. Howard always said it's 100 times, but we try really to be on the conservative side.
Yeah.
This is a product that we have in our program. Honestly, we are not manufacturing it. We buy these tablets, we repack it, but it's a perfect solution. Chlorine dioxide is the perfect solution for removing biofilms. There is nothing better than you can do.
Yeah.
Now, as I said, 90% of the problems is really coming from the filter media that you see here. So if you have a contaminated filter media, here I'm not talking about AFM usually. If you have here a problem with AFM in this is only because your backwash is inexistent. You know, the moment you have in a nearly reasonable backwash, you will not have this problem.
Yeah.
But you can have this definitely with sand, especially if your backwash is not good. So what do you do?
Okay, let's go through the steps. Step number 1, as we mentioned before, fill up the balance tank all the way to the very top. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Then add 4 triox tablets for 10 cubic meters of pool volume, not of the balance tank. So you filled it to the top. Now you give 4 tablets per 10 cubic meter of pool volume into the balance tank.
Yeah.
So let's make an example. You have a pool which is 100 cubic meters, so you give 40 tablets. You can give 50 or 60, that's not a problem. You have seen we made here now a very heavy concentration. This was 2 grams per liter, not milligrams, 2 grams. That would be 2,000 milligrams per liter. So here you would add in, for a 100 cubic meter pool, 40 tablets. You can do a little bit more. And this is now why Philip said, fill it to the top. So your chlorine dioxide, this yellow solution, will reach everything, and not just here the first 10 centimeters. And this biofilm is not cleaned. Again, it would be good if you would brush it, but even if you just go with chlorine dioxide, it's good. So, you know, you will consume in this process chlorine dioxide, but let's think, you know, you are not consuming it. You're not backwashing your filter. Then these 4 tablets will make 4 grams. You divide this by 100 cubic meters and you come to 0.4 grams per cubic or milligrams per liter or ppm, parts per million, of chlorine dioxide as a maximum concentration, you know, because I'm starting now how to recommission it. Now 0.4 ppm is a good concentration, but still quite a weak concentration. If you put now these 40 tablets, again, the 40 tablets are coming from the 100 cubic meter pool, 4 tablets per 10 cubic meter. We have 100, so 40 tablets, but we don't put them in the pool, we put them in the balance tank. I would recommend, and then I pass it back to you, sorry. I would recommend maybe you put 30 tablets in the balance tank and you do 10 tablets, you know, in the overflow gutter. And ideally you close the valve from the return line to the balance tank, so you fill up your pipe, the channel pipes.
So it can really work inside. What do you do in skimmer pools?
Well, there is it's less a problem. You can put it in the skimmer. You can put it directly in the filter. Yeah. But I would put it in skimmer pool. Just in the skimmer. Usually you have this in public pools, and this is why you will have a balance.
So now we have this very strong concentration in the balance tank, right?
Not very strong. What we have seen, this was very strong. But let's say we put these 40 tablets and in the balance tank, and the balance tank is 10 cubic meter. Then you have 4 ppm, which is much better. And if it's 5 cubic meter balance tank, you have 8 ppm. And this is then already quite a high concentration.
Okay, so now we stop the pump. Let it stop it for maybe 5 minutes.
To dissolve it.
So it can dissolve.
Is it dissolved over there?
Yes, yes.
It's dissolved. So in these 5 minutes, completely dissolved, totally even dissolved, high concentration,
So they can completely dissolve. And now we turn the pumps on. for 5 minutes. So the water from the balance tank can now reach the filter.
Yeah, really just past the filter, not all past the filter, just go into the filter.
Yeah.
And why are these 5 minutes? You have a filter, a DIN filter 2 meter from filter bed and freeboard, and we filter at 30 meters per hour. So that means in 2 minutes, 1 meter. This is why you go for 4 meters and 1 minute to get it in. If you filter slower,
slower.
What happened yesterday night? I think that this is not good if you don't drink
maybe
enough
it's the chlorine dioxide.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah. But you know, you really the dry ox water has to come really into the filter, to the bottleneck, to the nozzle plate, or to the laterals, and then the best is you stop it and you let it work. You know, this is this CT value, concentration with time, that you see here, concentration with time. So it's the disinfection is always a function of concentration, the higher the concentration, and the time you let the disinfection work on it. So the CT factor. So I would recommend you wait for 1 hour, and then you make a backwash.
And then you make a proper backwash to get everything out. And then you restart your filtration.
Can I combine this a little bit with chlorine?
Yes, that's actually a very good idea too.
Yeah. You know, maybe you don't need 20 ppm, but you know, if you go for 1-2 ppm, then chlorination in your pool, you know, because maybe some of these, you break up the biofilms, but maybe bits of parts are getting into the pool, and then you oxidize it. The chlorine dioxide will, in this process, lose a lot of its concentration. A part of it will be back washed out, but also the rest, you know, will be oxidized in the water. And especially if sun is coming to the pool, then it's gone. But ideally, you do this process not when you're in operation. I wouldn't recommend this. Do it in the evening, you know, when you close the pool. So just read it. What you see here, what we explained you now in detail, it's all on the instruction. It's also now a price list that you find on our website. But this is also another example, ladies and gentlemen, how you can use now our Pool Academy for your customers. You know, if you're a distributor and your pool dealer has a problem with biofouling of filters, send him this session number 7. And if he doesn't want to watch all the videos because he doesn't like us or whatever you say, start from minute 30 to 40. It's well explained. Was it well explained?
Yeah.
Was it clear enough?
Detailed. Yes.
Okay. You know, but I had this question so many times, and I had the people so many times on the call. So here, this is why we did this in detail. So this is the topic 1. Now here, and Philip will explain us, we had another case that actually this was in Edinburgh with a DAISY system. It was perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect. And we still have Sodomonas in the water. And then Howard, you know, he made with ATP measurements. This is for adenosine triphosphate. It's a kind of phosphate that you measure. And he measured everything, you know, and pool water was great before and after the filter was great. You know, it was after the filter even better than before the filter, but we still have Sodomonas. And it was hard to find it out. What was the solution?
So it's important to check, you know, for all equipment that also get in contact with the water. So for example, you know, these accessories here, the swim noodles, you know, and all the swim aids that are being used, the floats, right? Or for example, the pool cover, that's a classic. Then also very important, the lane dividers in the pools. And, you know, to some degree also the floor, I guess, around the pool.
Usually the floor is not coming into, but if they wash it, if they wash it and they wash it, what they should not do, into the overflow, that's not good. And by the way, if you clean these things, you know, don't use soap. You know, soap is not good because soap really will destroy the CT potential, and it will destroy your flocculation process. There you really can generate a lot more other problems like combined chlorine. You know, if you want to wash it, ideally just wash it. Can you close the window? It's still smelling. So yeah,
wash it with bleach.
Bleach you can use. The best you could do, use Dryox. You know, 1 tablet in 100 liter, 50 liters of water. Yeah. You can play with the concentration. That's really something of the best to clean that. So if you don't clean this, you can have the Pseudomonas on this, and if they go back in the pool, you get Pseudomonas back in the water. And this is how you find it out. If you don't have in the filtrate Pseudomonas, but you have it in the pool, it's coming from the pool, not from the filter.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so that's the pool. Now for spas and hot tubs, the procedure is a little bit different.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is really important because he will be the specialist in this. At the moment, he is a theorist, but he will be soon have practical experience because he will be in 4 weeks. He will get your spa from Riviera Pool.
Yeah,
if they you have to mention them. You have to mention that maybe they pay us something back, or maybe not.
Okay, I will become an expert for hot tubs, right? And spas. But anyway, so similar procedure. You add 4 tablets per 1 meter cube of water for 1,000 liters. You turn on all your pumps, your filtration system, your air blowers for 1 hour. I think with the air blower, it's good to kind of turn it on and off 2 or 3 times.
Yes, why? Because you have this water in the blower channel or in the air lines. So you have to get this old water out and disinfect it, the Dryox water, the chlorine dioxide in. So the best is to do this 2-3 times to blow the water off and to let the disinfected water to come in. And the rest is maybe remove the cartridge. I would maybe take the cartridge out, but it's not that important. But the rest you leave on filtration, and especially you let the water attractions burn to clean these pipes. And why you do them? Because in these pipes you have biofouling, and you see this. You go in your pool, you start your pool, and suddenly you get these brown spots out. I mean, they are nasty, they are ugly, and they are not healthy. I mean, there could be a contamination risk.
Okay.
So
So after
and then
an hour,
please dump it.
Dump it.
I mean, 4 tablets on 1,000 liter, that will give you 4 grams per cubic, so 4 milligrams per liter, 4 ppm. It's quite a high concentration. So don't jump in the pool while
and you should repeat this every 3 months.
I would do it every 3 months.
That's recommended.
For all spas. Really, this is, by the way, I mean, that's about 3, 4, 5 years ago, there was a tourist killed by Legionnaire's disease because he used one of these portable spa. I mean, fortunately, he was not Swiss, he was Dutch. No, sorry. No, he was, he rented this and he used it, and he got Legionnaire's disease, and it was in one of these portable spas. And this was because it was not wrong treated. So this is not good. Yeah. So really, how do you want to clean these small pipes? The only solution is Dryox. Oh, I'm running out. What is this, Philip? It's a video.
Well, it's nasty, but it shows what can happen.
Holy shit! Hey.
Yeah.
So what's the takeaway of this session, Philip?
Well, give me some time to think about this, but it's nasty.
Yeah, never fart in a pool, right?
Never fart in a pool.
Especially not if you have a problem, maybe you have E. coli or crypto, that's not good. Okay, it was a nasty video, I apologize. But it shows if you have a fatal accident, Dryox is the best. I mean, in a spa, obviously you would empty it, you would fill it up again, and then you do exactly this treatment with Dryox. If you have a big pool, with 1,000 cubic meters, try to isolate it. If it's in big form, solid, it's easier when it's quite liquid, of course, I know, but big one, maybe you cannot completely empty. Try to isolate it, to vacuum it, and then do a Dryox treatment.
I think they got it.
Okay.
I think they got it.
Sorry.
So this before a pipe, before and after Dryox.
Yeah, that's your spa. That's your future spa. If you don't do it, it looks you're here on the left side.
Absolutely.
Okay, but as I said, 80% of the problems really are coming from the filters and really from wrong backwashing. I mean, use AFM, but also do correct backwashing. Not like we have seen this in session number 2, going up, always go down. And as we have seen in session number 3, you know, with the right pipe sizes, you know, if you're here with 4 meters per second, you cannot backwash it. So really important. If you haven't seen it, go. These both are really good sessions. Very, very happy with this. Case studies. Here, this was Dinslanken, actually quite 2014. And I was in contact there with a German pool partner, and I have a problem. I have AFM in, but I have too high combined chlorine. I have too high chlorates. I don't remember anymore how much it was. And I have Legionellas. I have AFM, Dominic. So why? I mean, you promised you don't have it. So I was there. And let's go part by part. You know, problem number 1, he also had carbon, you know, so he should be okay with the combined chlorine. And I don't remember, maybe it was 0.3 or 0.35. But he had this kind of diffuser, and this is why he had kind of a hill. So all the carbon was just here in the corners and nothing in the middle. And this is why you didn't have this straight layer. So we changed the diffuser to one from Colplus, and then it was flat, and then the combined chlorine was okay. Problem number 2 was I said make a backwash, and he stopped after 1.5 to 2 minutes and said, why do you stopping? I don't have more water. What? Yeah, a balance tank is 3,000 liters. I only can backwash. Yeah, that means 3,000 liters cross. So actually you can use maybe 2,000 or 1,500 liters. He only could backwash for less than 2 minutes. And remember session number 2 and 3, you know, if you have a filter with 2 meters and you want to backwash, you know, let's say with 60 meters per hour, I mean, our backwash velocity was more like 50 meters per hour, but to make the calculation easier, this is what I learned from you, it takes with 60 meters, it takes 2 minutes just to reach the top diffuser. Of course, you cannot backwash this filter for 2 minutes. But then he came and said, yeah, but Dominic, my balance tank, what do I do? So what we did here the Daisy or the Dryden or the Dominic system. We took not the main drains, we took the water attractions. So they changed it. Now they can get the backwash water directly from the pool, which is anyway much better. We talked about in session number 2 and 3. So you see, everything comes together today. So solution was directly backwashing from the pool. By the way, Philip, what's the problem here? Well, this was not in this installation. This is
you cannot access the balance tank. So if you cannot access it, you cannot get in, clean it.
This is from one of my Swiss customers. How do you want to get in and to clean this? How do you want to do this? I mean, it's 20 centimeters. I mean, too small for me and for you. Impossible. So these shit things you should not do. This is not good. Yeah. And then last but not least, we also had a Legionellas problem, of course, because of not good backwashing. But to be on the safe side, I also measured phosphates in the water, and they had 4 ppm. I said, where you get your phosphates in? You know, it's coming from cleaning agents, soap that we talked before, very often you have phosphates. That was not the case. So I measured the tap water. They had there in the tap water 4 ppm of phosphates. I mean, this is a perfect nutrient. So also we dosed a lot of APF and a lot of no-phos really to get these phosphates out, and they had even a phosphate filter or something like this. So problem solved. The last one, chlorates. I mean, they had bleach and they said because of price, we buy 3 pallets. This is our annual demand. And it was 35 degrees room temperature. You remember from session number 4, you know how the chlorine level goes down and the chlorates level go up. So first of all, you will consume 2 or 3 times more chlorine, and you bring a lot of chlorates in. So that's not good. Best would be a DHN, but if you don't want to do it, just take 2 or 3 bottles. That's good enough. And that's the last one. Jan, are you on the call? Are you here, my friend? This is what he sent me yesterday, 2 days ago. Here we were on the installation, San Sebastian in Spain, 2018. Here you see Colplus filter. It's not a perfect installation, but yeah, the valves here are definitely too small. However, we changed this to AFM. This was still the old AFM. And we did this because they had Sodomonas problems. And nothing else they wanted to change, really just to AFM standard, nothing else. Piping is okay, but I said, you know, the valves are a little bit small. We cannot properly backwash it. There is no flow meter. There is no side glass. Now, since I'm involved in Colplus, all the new filters have a side glass of the public ones. They do not use our APF, no CPM, no activated carbon, granulated activated carbon, just AFM. And the system is running with a UV medium pressure. And yeah, here you see the installation. And here, this is the feedback that I got from Jan. Just, I didn't call him for this. He just came back to me with this and said, Dominic, I learned a lot and you see this is common. You know, problems with Sodomonas gone, problem solved. This was the problem they had. Chlorine consumption approximately 25% lower, great. But small algae problems in the pool in a small area. So you see, it's really, it's a copy paste.
Area.
But this is really why I liked his thing. You know, he sent me this and said, Dominic, I followed all the pool academy. They inject here the flocculation. Should I bring this here in front of the pump? Yes, my friend, Jan, you got it. You learned it. Absolutely. That will make a big change. Yeah. You have much better mixing. And he said, I think this pump is shit. Yes, you're right. This is shit. You know, that works for 5 minutes and they stop it. Yeah. So go for Stanner and go for APF with the phosphates. And then your algae problems will be gone or reduced. Mm-hmm. Why reduced and not gone, maybe? That's a good question.
Well,
because of the UV medium pressure. Jan, I didn't tell you this yet. Oh, here, Nadine here, the picture is gone. Okay, no, it doesn't matter. Why? They have a UV medium pressure, and we learned in the last session, the UV medium pressure will oxidize the combined chlorine to nitrate. Mm-hmm. And nitrate is a fertilizer. Mm-hmm. So it's really, the best would be take this shitty UV medium pressure out and go for Advanox. That would be the perfect solution. So you see, we are really up to date. Okay, that's the last one. Vitamin D, what you're talking here, Philip, about vitamin D.
You know, vitamin D is really important to boost your immune system, right?
Yeah, that helps for everything. If you have cancer, COVID, whatever.
Yeah, and I guess
a good immune system.
And I guess the same is true for a pool, right?
Yes.
So we have a vitamin.
We have a vitamin D. Vitamin Daisy. Yeah. This gives you the perfect immune system, and it's prevent. It's not to kill. Mm-hmm. It's prevent. And I think a little bit about that will work in every field. Mm-hmm. And we will not brainwash you again. What we are better. It's just here. Safest water.
Clearest water.
Yeah. Clear water is safe water.
Period.
So we want to have this water. This is safe water because it's clear. That's for the ladies. Okay, next week, in a week, we do the summary and we do the test. Join us on this. It will be interesting. It will be not individual. We will do this in a